Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed again. Let's talk about it here on That Game Place. Coming at you from Geeks and Gamers. You should definitely check out that site. This article is coming to you from the wonderful Marvin Montanaro, the editor-in-chief of that park place and a very good friend of mine. And the article states, GTA 6, again, is delayed. Rockstar pushes the game to 2026 as fans fear Rockstar's creative shift. Now, Chase, before we even get into the story of this article, I don't know, this feels like deja vu to me. I feel like from the moment of my conception that this game has been delayed, I somehow think this game was being delayed before GTA 5 even came out. Am I wrong on that?
No, that sounds about right to me. I'm pretty sure it's always delayed.
Well, I saw something here recently that if anyone out there remembers the game Duke Nukem Forever, which was announced at the time in the late 1990s, the first-person shooter, that game holds the current record for the longest development process. I think it's at 14 years and something months.
So that's why they're taking so long.
They want the record. If they don't get the record of best-selling game of all time, you know, at least they can go up to their boss and be like, hey, bruh, we got the record for longest development ever. That's for something.
Mm-hmm.
I even saw on X that the Guinness Book of World Records actually retweeted them about, I think, Duke Nukem Forever currently holding the record. So they're noticing. They definitely are in their zeitgeist. So let's see what happens there. But let's read a little bit about what Marvin Montanaro had to say on this, as GTA 6 has been delayed again. Rockstar Games has officially delayed Grand Theft Auto 6 again, pushing the release all the way back to November 19th, 2026. That's right, the most anticipated game of the decade just got shoved another year down the road, and fans are not amused. According to CNBC, Take-Two Interactive stock nosedived 7% in after-hours trading after the news broke. I'd like to remind everyone there is no financial advice given on this channel. If you're taking financial advice from me, you need to seek someone else because I'm not good at that. But you know what I can do? Read the story. The company says the delay will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you come to expect and deserve. Chase, what kind of level of polish do you expect from this kind of game? Like, especially if there's someone out there who might not know Grand Theft Auto that well. Like, what do you expect to see in this kind of thing as far as quality goes?
Well, at this point, I better be able to walk into the screen and play myself. Because...
it's Tron.
Once I get my supercomputer, just wait, I'll be able to play this. Because, you know, I'm going to need to go to NASA really quick just to pick up my PC so I can run GTA 6. Which, by the way...
You might need a super...
I'm pretty sure it's coming out exclusively on PlayStation 5. So does this mean all the releases are coming out late? I don't know.
Well, they could pull like a Ubisoft, what they did with Rayman Legends way back in the day, where it was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive, and then they delay it so they could have it on more platforms, which probably hurt the game's detriment because they decided to come out around the same time of another game, which hurt its sale. I think the game was called, oh, that's right, Grand Theft Auto 5. So, yeah, bring it full circle here. So yeah, it can be a bit dangerous to play with delaying your game, but as Shigeru Miyamoto has said, famous creator of Legend of Zelda, Mario, yeah, I made this a Nintendo tangent, that's right, look at me, go me. He once said, I believe the quote was, a delayed game is eventually good, but a game released too early is forever bad. And that's great and all, but I am also the guy that remembers them delaying Pikmin 3, like, what, 9 times? So...
Pikmin 4... forever.
Yeah, Pikmin 4. Like, games get delayed a lot, unfortunately, in the industry. And especially with Grand Theft Auto, to bring this back to GTA, yikes. Like, people have been teased of this game for so long. And you have to think about timing, like... I am all for this game being the greatest game ever made on the planet. The game is justified to be that way. I do think it's going to end up becoming one of the best-selling games of all time, if not the best-selling game of all time, just by brand name alone. However, timing is important, and when a game takes this long to get made, people start getting this thing called, unrealistic expectations. Look at
Hmm.
the Phantom Menace when that came out for those who are fans of Star Wars. Heck, anybody like maybe what if you hype up a Christmas gift for like a year? It might not be as cool when you actually get it because of the delay. Am I wrong on that, Chase?
No, I agree. I believe at this point they've already been at that expectation. They are expected to. This game's expected to be perfect, and I can say from playing GTA 5, that game's already pretty pretty intensive on hardware. And so they better have this game optimized because there's gonna be some mad people that buy GTA 6 and can't play it.
Well, I like the what you're bringing up there because I'd also like to bring to the table here. Let's not forget there are people who bought systems specifically for the new GTA. I'm like that with a lot of Nintendo stuff. Like if I know there's going to be a new 3D Mario or Legend of Zelda game, I got to get that system. I want to purchase it. I want to experience it because, that's my hobby. That's my bread and butter. That's what I make videos about most of the time. I do a lot of video games, but it's usually Nintendo. And if you are a GTA fan and this is a system seller game, like talk to anybody, they've probably heard of Grand Theft Auto. To possibly give the shaft to people, like what if they keep delaying this thing? And we've been covering here a lot on that gameplays about PlayStation 6 rumors, and there have been a lot. It hasn't just been like, oh, some guy on Reddit said there's gonna be a new PlayStation next year. The sources trust me, bro. No, like we're hearing a lot of different sources reporting on this, and it seems very likely we're probably gonna get some sort of news next year. That's my speculation, but I'm gonna hold to those words, at least for now.
GTA
Now,
6 on
Chase.
Nintendo Switch 2? Just kidding.
Oh,
There's absolutely no way.
No. And there's the tragic thing with Grand Theft Auto. Before we continue on the story here, I want to say, do you pretty much expect this game to not be allowed to have any glitches at this point?
Oh yeah,
because
no, it better be perfect.
what is that? What are the headlines going to look at day one when this game, the first week? I'm sure we're going to be reporting, mark my words here, we're probably going to be talking about some silly game-breaking glitches that slip past because it's clear this game wasn't ready. And you have to ask the million-dollar question, why are they delaying it again outside of quality? And what is the quality reason?
Well, and I wonder how much of it has to do with anti-cheat too, because one of the biggest problems with GTA 5 was the amount of hackers that were in the game. I wonder how that's going to be in GTA 6 if that's something they're actually trying to prevent, because I know they were trying to crack down on 5.
For a single player game, it wouldn't seem like that would be a big deal, but especially, after the success of Grand Theft Auto Online, they are probably banking in this game not to just be a great game of the holiday season, but they have literally spent like what, $1 billion on this game. Like it is some insane number. They are going to be going to bank off this game, with like DLC, probably online content, microtransaction for probably like the next 5 years at least. So they need this game to have like legs, like a marathon of going on this game. It doesn't matter how well it does out of the gate. It's about how well it does in the long run. And if we're in a situation where hacking could be an issue, oh man, a bad reputation can hurt a game in the long run. Look at a game like Star Wars Battlefront 2, which only recently saw some, resurrection from fans. But when that first reputation happened, it was hard to shake. But going back to Marvin's words here, he has a quote from CEO Strauss Zelnick, and he says, "We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait." You're only realizing this now. "But these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve," Rockstar said in a blog post. "We want to thank you again for your patience and support. While the wait is a little longer, we are incredibly excited for players to experience the sprawling state of Leonida, and a return to modern-day Vice City." Bayonetta? Yeah! Now, the CEO tried to sound upbeat, claiming Rockstar will still deliver an unraveled blockbuster entertainment experience. But much like Blockbuster Video, investors weren't buying it. Literally or figuratively. I'm not throwing the video store thing because rest in peace, Blockbuster. Meanwhile, the company did have some financial wins. $1.96 billion in revenue, up 33% from last year. $133.9 million net loss, which is actually an improvement. Dang. A raised booking forecast to between 6.38 and 6.48 billion. So yes, they're making money, just not for the one game everybody's been waiting 12 years to play. Now, these numbers actually are still, look pretty good here. We're not gonna be like clickbaiting you and be like, look guys, Rockstar's falling to the ground. Like, no, we report on the truth here. And the truth of the matter is, it seems like, there's still some faith in Rockstar. But the also other side of this coin is, the wait never ends. The Hollywood Reporter confirmed the new date and pointed out that the game's previous delay from fall 2025 to May 2026 cost the gaming industry roughly, and wait for it here, folks, $2.7 billion in lost market value. Now, Chase, have you ever had like a bad day and you're just like, man, I feel like everything's going wrong right now? You try to get out of your car, it's pouring down rain. Have you ever had such a bad day to where you made your whole industry lose over $2 billion? Have that happened to you any this week?
Only on Monday.
Well, really? Okay. Well, what'd you do that was so bad?
Well, it all started when I fell asleep at my cubicle. No, I'm just kidding.
Just accidentally fall asleep on the PlayStation Store and all the value of all the games. Like, oh, now you need to pay $999 for GTA 5.
How long was I asleep? Okay.
Accidentally announces yet another Skyrim remake, maybe. Oh, man. So, all right. So this means the latest setback could sting even more. The first trailer dropped in December of 2023, breaking every record imaginable. Over 475 million views across platforms. Then came the hype cycle, the memes, the speculation, all the people rewinding that one scene of the girl in the bikini. Okay, that part wasn't in the article, but people were talking about this trailer. And I gotta say, I seen the trailer. I thought it looked pretty impressive. I like its style. I like that it's in Florida. We get Florida Man the game. I mean, I'm excited for it. But now we're looking at another 12-month delay. At this point, it feels like Half-Life 3 would come out first if Valve really tried. Okay, Marvin, I have to draw a line here there. My homie, Half-Life 3, I am expecting aliens to make contact before we get to Half-Life 3. So I need to get you on the show and we need to debate this a little bit. No, they can't count to 3. I'm never going to get my Portal 3, am I? It's never going to happen. So I want to bring up a mention though. One of our loyal viewers had a very good point on this. I'd like to share before we continue into this article. Good friend of the channel, Blue Sharky 38. I wonder if they're delaying it to make people want it more so they can justify the $100 price tag. Chase, I want to give you the word on that. What do you think of this speculation here? I think he's got something interesting with this.
No, I think that makes sense because especially with all the gaming industry already raising their price recently to $70 per game, because I know that was a big deal, it does make it seem better. But there's also a chance that by the time the game comes out, they're going to be like, oh, we know we said $100, but now it's $125 because y'all need to realize how much work we put in. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And I brought this up during another one of our live shows once. And or maybe it was a video recording. Whichever it was on this channel. And I remember I brought up that I saw a brilliant post on X. And what the user was saying was how it starts out like this. They're going to charge $100 for the game. And then about like 2 years later, they're going to be like, well, due to economic times, we're going to start charging $120. And, it just dominoes. Mm-hmm. At some point, the industry needs to have a line to where consumer satisfaction price needs to take a stop. I mean, we already exist in a world of microtransactions. Chase, do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 is just going to have the base game and they're not going to put any other purchase stuff available for it? I feel like that's madness to think that they're not going to have other things to buy right out of the gate.
They will definitely have something if you pre-order the game. But for all the normal people who order it when it gets released, I feel like you're going to get the base game $100. Then you'll probably have the special edition, which would be $200. And I'm not surprised if they go higher than that for something.
Yeah, we already know that they were trying to. We covered this on a live show once. They were trying to sell the dang police car they souped up to make it as a reference model for the game. They took an actual police car and they put like the
I
decals of
remember
like the city in the game on it. And by the way, I still think that's actually kind of awesome. But still, it shows that they're already making money off a game that's not even out yet. So Marvin goes on to say, and
if you
go
look
ahead.
at other games, because I play Overwatch and I haven't played Fortnite recently, but like when I have played, there's bundles, and mind you, these things are purely cosmetics, okay, of like skin bundles for your character, and they're like $100 just for the bundle, and people eat them up. And I'm like, are you kidding me? All these people are just feeding this industry for cosmetics. So I'm not going to be surprised what GTA 6 does for cosmetics either.
What, you don't want to pay $30 for like special Kasumi hair on one of these characters? You don't want to do that? You don't want pink hair? Okay.
Wow, you can get your own hair imported into the game for the low price of $9.99,
Nine. So the fans are losing patience, and not for the reasons you think, as Marvin goes say in another brilliant take by him. Sure, gamers are frustrated about the timeline, but there's another conversation simmering. A fear that Grand Theft Auto 6 might be losing its edge and leaning into progressive culture. And there has been a lot of stuff, about the culture war in a lot of games, especially recently, whether games are involved with like Sweet Baby Inc., et cetera, et cetera. There is some rumor and speculation going on that they might be removing some of those elements from the game. And, I haven't seen personally enough things to really say about if that's going on behind the scenes. Marvin goes on to describe in a wonderful article, which I really recommend checking out over at Geeks and Gamers, a bit about what's going on with some of the politics behind it. If you really want to go into the weeds there with that one, it's whether or not it's going to be in the game remains to be seen, and there's a lot of like rumors. There's some people going from insiders. What I just want to say on the matter is we're gonna have in a few years here, once this game actually comes out, get this, folks, the game will eventually come out. We will probably know when the data miners start coming on if this is true or not. And we're going to see when this game comes out if those elements are present in the game. Because, these delays are a bit suspicious. So, you know what? I'll leave it up to the consumer and the audience of our various backgrounds in the audience to help decide, do you think this game is going to go for those kind of things and is going to affect the sales? And maybe they made a course correction, if you want to call it a correction. That's, like I said, a lot of different opinions valued here. We are open to a lot of people. But GTA could be making some big changes.
GTA 6 canceled. And not canceled as in didn't come out. Canceled as in canceled from what was in the game.
So that's what did it in the end, huh? We go in a bit to that. And like I said, check out the full article if you want to go a bit more into what's going on with there's some optimism here. We're running a little long, so I want to go ahead and put a wrap on this for now. But the reality is, people are concerned about price. People are concerned about politics. People are concerned about quality. And this is the longest we've ever had to wait for a Grand Theft Auto game. Chase, I want to give you the last word here on this. Do you think, no matter what background you are, do you think this game is going to live up to the hype, or do you think it never will?
I think that I have to have hope that it will live up to the hype because they've faced 12 years of development. But if for some reason they release the game and it's horribly optimized, we can see, like we've seen games that have come out horribly optimized that completely crash, and it basically turns into flames and just burns up in flames. So hopefully it will be good. I'm going to trust that, 12 years should be enough time to get it together, but it better be perfect, because if not, there's going to be a lot of mad people.
Well said. Well said. I I hope the game's good, and I hope it lives up to, the legacy and does better than what I remember Grand Theft Auto being. I was never really a Grand Theft Auto kid, but I do really respect the series. And I played a few of the entries, and you know what? They're fun. And I just really hope that, the game produces quality for a good price that's going to make a lot of people happy, as like, GTA Vice City did back then. I don't want this to be the GTA 5 effect where I feel like it did a lot of good for the industry, but it did a lot of damage because so many games wanted to be the next GTA 5 or GTA Online. And much like a lot of games that wanted to be the next Fortnite, it's made a lot of bad games and a lot of scummy trends.
I think one of the reasons it's taking so long is because Rockstar has gotten comfortable because they don't have competition. The only competition for GTA is like Saints Row, and Saints Row hasn't had, I mean, this is just my opinion, a good installment in a while. And from what I've heard, it's kind of fallen off. I know there was also another game. I just can't remember the name of it right now. That was kind of similar to GTA, but nothing is like GTA. It really does not have any competition to like kick it in the butt.
The closest I can say, if I could chime a little more on this, the closest some people are going to think I'm stupid for this take. I think the closest game that kind of has the vibe of GTA that hits with people is honestly Roblox. Because, it's one of those freedom type games, you make basically the world your own. And
there are
it's had
GTA
its own
Roblox. There is GTA in Roblox.
Yeah, like the cities and stuff, or the crime systems. I know it's definitely a thing. I know Roblox has been over all the headlines of being a very problematic game for a lot of reasons, obviously. And this is not focused on a Roblox scenario, but people tend to gravitate to games where, there's not a lot of rules in place. GTA was known for being the game that, your grandma didn't like. If they don't make a game that's true to GTA, then I don't think they're going to get a lot of sales. But, let's see what happens. I'm very excited to see where this goes. I think we are
it's going to 2027.
Yeah, 2028, man. They need to get the record. Let's get the record at least. Go.
I think
swing for the king, man. Swing for the king.
Nobody trusts their release dates. Okay, I think we're very all at this point.
This is why you don't give me financial advice, because I'm like, go for everything, everybody. But hey, when we get the next trailer a good 4 years from now, we'll definitely be sure to talk about it here on That Game Place.